At no point did he say that. Then another section of the media picked on that again to say the president of the Senate, again leading the 10th Senate, has said whatever Mr. President like he should go and do, this Senate will not approve the purchase of a plane. And as we sat here today, a section of the social media had also been circulating that we had gone into an executive session to discuss about the presidential request for a new plane and how we are going to approve it. Mr. President, the essence of my saying this is just to make it clear and to alert Nigerians that there is the presence of a fifth columnist and some other propagandists who are doing everything possible to destabilize this country and also destabilize the parliament. Mr. President, I say for the record, as the leader of this Senate, that there is no request before this Senate as of yet. So there could not have even been a basis for us to debate whether we are going to approve or not. It had never been discussed either on the floor of this Senate or among individual senators or at the executive closed session. There is no such request. If the request comes, it's not about Mr. President of the Senate alone. It's for 469 elected representatives of the Nigerian people to discuss and take a position. 360 in the House of Reps, 109 in the Senate. But as we speak, Mr. President, there is no such request. And I just want all of us to be clear about this. I thank you, Mr. President.
You see how they deceive the people. Somebody said they lie so much that they themselves can't differentiate between lies and truth anymore. They just flow with it. So can we all now agree that Tinubu has committed an impeachable offense because he has taken money? Number one, he has paid his friends over 6 trillion naira as confirmed. He paid it for subsidy. A total that is actually like over 8 trillion naira. Baba, that didn't get any approval from anyone. But they borrowed the money, they shared it. Now, this guy buys 2 brand new aircraft, they claimed. And the National Assembly is not aware. So are they going to convene tomorrow and they will say, oh yeah, he requested, that's not what we meant. We just meant that we have not moved the motion on it. We have already approved. How are they going to do it? Bokwari printed 27.5 trillion naira in 8 years. That's over $50 billion using the old exchange rate under his during his regime. And there's nobody that can say this is what they used the money for. They printed over 27 trillion naira. And whew, gone. Gone. All they had to do was just to give the Senate $25 million cash. The House of Representatives, $15 million cash. 3 days before the end of Bokwari's 8 years tenure. And they all approved and said, all the printed money that Bokwari didn't get any approval for, that 3 days to the end of the government, they approved it and said all of that was done legally. Now, this guy's on camera, on record said, Tinubu never asked for a plane. Even though if he asked, they will approve. There's no record of it. 6 or 7 weeks later, a Chinese company that is claiming the asset of Nigeria all over the world found 3 presidential jets of a poor country, Nigeria, 3 presidential jets in France, and then a court confiscated them. So within that arrangement, which got Macron involved. So Macron and the French government are now playing the intermediary peacemaker between Nigeria and this Chinese company. So they said, okay, could you please release one? So they got the waiver to bring one of the planes that Tinubu didn't get approval for to buy in France. They send that to Nigeria, A330 Airbus. So Tinubu can come to France to come and discuss how they are going to bail the remaining 2 aircrafts. Isn't that impeachable offense? Well, I think it is. The NLC chairman that will likely be arrested anytime soon. The police IG Nigeria has invited the Nigeria Labour Congress chairman that they are investigating him for criminal conspiracy, terrorism financing, treasonable felony, subversion, and cybercrime in which you are mentioned. You are therefore invited to interview the undersigned on Tuesday, the 20th of August by 10 a.m. prompt. Yeah, you see that? Right. On the right-hand side is the new aircraft that Tinubu just used 150 billion naira to buy. The one they sent down to Abuja to bring him to France. Guess what? When Bayo Onofunuga will actually sort of a tweet about Tinubu going to France. They did something, they call it a press release. Give me a sec. I want to bring it up, okay? Just 1 sec. I should have done that before now, right? So Onofunuga, in a presidential release, let me put that on the screen as well. Here you go. So the aircraft that Tinubu did done bought for himself, without their approval, indeed, Bayo Onofunuga actually said the president departed Abuja Monday for Paris, France, using the new Airbus A330, which replaced the 19-year-old Boeing B737-700, right? Bought under the presidency of Obasanjo. You see that line, eh? You see this line? Is a line to say Tinubu has replaced the presidential jet that Obasanjo bought. Is too old and dangerous now. Sure you get now. So, and that's how they announced it too. He now flew in it to France. So first thing first, so that you can know why he bought a new aircraft, okay? It was bought by Obasanjo a long time ago. So Tinubu cannot be, flying in that. The new plane, bought far below the market price, saved Nigeria huge maintenance and fuel cost, running into millions of dollars yearly. So Nigerians should be happy. Tinubu saved you money. You get that? Now, the recommendation to replace the yen followed an investigative hearing by Nigeria's parliament. Emagbo, Akpabiole said he never asked them, okay? And they never recommend one. They said, Akpabiole, National Assembly, they said they are the one who questioned the plane's safety record and cost efficiency, especially after it malfunctioned during a trip to Saudi Arabia. The Nigeria Senate Security and Intelligence Committee recommended replacing the aging aircraft in the presidential fleet to reduce downtime and operational expenses. The new plane is spacious and is furnished with the state-of-the-art avionics, customized interior. Here you get. Oh yeah, clap for him. You should be happy. The shameless criminals you have in you call your senators. They were the ones who they said, Kolu said they were the ones who said he needed new plane. Akpabiole and Co said no. Tinubu never asked us that he needed a plane. So they are fooling. They are supposed demumus who listen to them. Here is one of, or was one of them. You remember the dildo senator? Yeah, the one that beat up a woman inside the dildo shop in Abuja. And they ask, waiting man they do inside the dildo shop. Anyway, long story. it was removed by a court that said he rigged or something. If not, it would be there right now. But still, he had few things to say about how much they get paid. Minimum wage in Nigeria is 30,000 naira. Was 30,000 naira. Right now, still probably less than 30,000 naira in some places. Others have kind of said they will pay 70,000. So let's stick to that. Averagely, 70,000 naira minimum wage in Nigeria. How much is the salary of a senator? Listen to this guy.
So why the car allowance again when you've already gotten 160 million naira worth of Jeep?
Well, you could have allowed me to first of all land before you load the second bullet. Because it's okay, it's like your cannon is already loading. Cumulatively, when I was in the Senate, cumulatively all the allowances put together was 14.4 million naira per month.
Okay.
My salary was 1.something million naira. You have wardrobe allowances, you have your vehicle allowances, you have other allowances put together. It was 14.4 million naira.
Okay, these are the allowances, and your salary was
1 million.
Let's just say 1 million.
Well, yes.
So each senator,
yes,
during your time then,
yes,
would go home with 15.4
no,
million.
14.4 million.
No, plus your 1 million.
No, including salary. That
okay,
is
including.
Making it to be 14.
Okay, that's
yes,
fine. 14.4 million.
Yes.
Today, the
yes,
case is different.
Yes.
It's about how much?
It is about 29 million now.
29 million.
Yes.
In this austere Nigeria.
I will come to that.
Okay,
now,
go on.
Now, 29 million looks big on paper.
Just on paper.
Just on paper. I am saying this as a very honest man. I am not trying to support National Assembly, an institution so vilified, and I have been a member of that vilified institution for 5 years. I am not siding with them, but I will bear the facts on the table.
Openly, very quickly, but you are happy with the humongous money, right?
It is not humongous.
Just on paper.
It is just on paper.
Okay.
When I was in the Senate, my monthly salaries and allowances put together was about 14.4 million naira.
Yes.
And at the end of the month, the company I founded, which I was the managing director and the chief executive officer, when I won election, I had to leave the company to go into governance. Had to start subsidizing my own life, because the money that was coming or allocated to my office was 14 million, which was nothing, absolutely nothing, considering the demands, the want, the challenges faced by my own constituents on a daily basis. Now, let me put it this way.
What are they demanding?
Somebody will come and tell you today his wife is sick, he is sick, his children cannot pay school fees, he's in the hospital. I have a case that on that one person alone I took the hospital, I spent 14 million naira on one person. And every month, from all over Adamawa State, in fact, at a point, from all over the country, my office is besieged with people looking for help. At a point, I don't like calling people's numbers. I don't like visiting people.
Isn't it? You definitely will go on.
Yes.
But
at a point, I had to start calling some state governors to help me with cases that is being brought from their state into my office. Now I have 14 million naira a month. And I am paying a lot of people's scholarship in my office. I am subsidizing people's life in my office. While a state governor in this country is going home with over 700 million naira security vote every single month, minimum. Some go home with 1 billion naira.
The state governors, they put it in their pockets, right?
No, I didn't say put in their pocket.
Yeah. You said they go home.
Yeah, of course, they go home with it to do other security issues. I can't say the point in their pocket. That would be very, very, very bad.
Look, the political elite,
Yes.
let's put it pronto, the political elite have taken governance and development far away from the people. In other democracies,
Yes.
let's take some of the older democracies like the US.
Yes.
Where do you see the constituents besieging their senators or their House of Representative members to beg for money that they cannot pay school fees and the rest? And so therefore, the legislators will now overbloat their salaries.
Well,
Governance and development have been taken far away from the Nigerian
I agree
people.
with you. Mr. Chris, I agree with you. Governor has been taken far away from the people. And that is where local government administration have to come to the fore. Before now, local governments were getting so much money. They were given contracts at the
Being
local government
squandered,
level.
before now,
Before now,
yeah, they
look,
were
a
doing
local
very
government
well.
chairman was a big man. He can give contract for construction of primary school, culvert, small art road, art dams, and the rest of it. Today, the governors have hijacked the local government system through a devilish thing called JAC, that's joint account. Being that today there's no election in the local government.
Okay, let's quickly leave the local government issue, because Nigerians are really, I know. Nigerians are really, your duty is to legislate for the good governance of this country. And you're trying to justify today's salary of each legislator, 29 million naira, in the face of the asphyxiation Nigerians are going through. Sorry, it looks as if I'm beginning to raise my voice.
Yeah,
I'm only
please
just,
raise the voice.
I'm just talking
I
for
will ask
the.
you to off the mic. There's no mic here.
I'm just talking for the Nigerian people,
Yes.
really. 29. How justifiable is this in today's Nigerian economy with a salary, a minimum wage of 70,000 naira?
I think what the National Assembly should do is to create a fund, a particular fund in the office of our legislators who are the representatives of the people to take care of this kind of thing so it will not be lumped into their own salary. Let me say this on a live national television. I am poorer, much, much poorer as a man when I became a politician than I was before I became a politician.
Why didn't you resign and go back to your business?
Because I enjoy serving the people.
You could still serve them with your company.
But now, yes, that is the point, because you will get somebody in that may not be as passionate as I am. Now let me say this today, and go to my village and check this. As a senator, I live in a room and parlor in my village. I never built a house. In my hometown, my local government headquarters, I don't have a house. I live in my friend's house. My friend lecturer gave me a house. I live in it. In my state capital, Yola, I don't have a house.
You are exceptional.
Now, I am saying this on national television. If anybody in the world can point out a house that I built, I was building a mansion before I became a senator. A 23-bedroom mansion with 9 parlors, with a swimming pool in the heart of Mubi. When I became a senator, I stopped it. I took over carrying people's burden, orphans, the vulnerable people. I took over. Their problem became my own problem. Sometimes when I see them, I weep. The conditions some human beings are living in. And you remember that God put this weight on your back. I cannot budge.
But being in government at that national level, you had a state government, because the people you're talking about, your own constituents, for example, from your senatorial district, besieging you for one assistance or the other. What kind of discussions do you have with the Adamawa State governor when you were in the National Assembly, the governor of Adamawa State, for example?
We never had a discussion with my governor, because 3 months when I was elected into office, we fought. 3 months. We came on the same party. 3 months into office. On principles, we differed on principle. He might be doing his own right in his own way, because he's not here to defend himself, and it will be wrong to talk about him when he's not here. But we disagreed.
He has the rights to come and appear.
So
if he
3
wants
months,
to.
we parted ways. 3 months. In the next 1 year, I come to another party because I can't sit in the same room with him. And you know why? I don't like injustice.
Nuisance, Lele.
Those are the characters who are making decisions for that contraption. I like it when I see them on screen like that. I kind of like it so that, you know, you get to see them one-on-one and be where you are. You are just like, what? 29 million naira. And that is just on paper. This greed runs deep. If I begin to kind of break them down for you, right? But I still have a lot to share tonight. An average senator in Nigeria right now goes home with nothing less than 55 million naira every month. You heard me right. 55 million naira every month. And their principal officers, like Apabioli and co, these guys are not going on with less than 1 billion naira every month. Yeah, you heard me right. 1 billion naira every month. Because what they do is that they always tell you about their salary is 1 million. Okay? But you have no idea that Akpabiole in 2024 alone is going to cash out 21 billion naira from the Nigerian 2024 budget. I don't know if you know that. Yeah, he's spending 19 billion naira to buy refrigerators for the women in his constituency. He's spending over 8 billion naira to construct a solar powered street lights for the people of his constituency. And so many other things they talked inside that budget. It is called budget padding. There were so many of them that will conveniently tell you, well, I didn't receive, all I received was 500 million naira for constituency. My constituency allowance. And so they share. So yeah, you heard him. I became poorer. I was building mansions, 23-room mansions. People are going to them to beg for money to pay for school. They are going to them to beg for money to feed. And the idea to help their constituencies to give them the money. And I think I've shared that on this platform before, that their constituency money and the rest of that, which gives so much money under their control, they are allowed to spend it as they want. And with Tifnumbu, now everybody don't they collect their share. You see, those who could actually cause problem, they are those who have been settled. Those of you who are the victims, that will be the victims of the ruined economy, right? You don't really matter. He settled the police chiefs. He has settled the service chiefs. He has settled the judiciary. He has settled the civil society. He has settled the religious bodies. He has paid off, who else is there again? The student body. So he has given everybody their share. So whatever you now see out there is yours. So why can't he just treat himself? So this was him though, when he was planning to go to France. Nigeria Air Force. See the plane where the company collects from him, right? That is the new plane you paid 150 billion naira for. And Tifnumbu's new toy. When everybody don't they collect their own share, why would anybody complain that a poor country that is begging people to borrow them money can afford to buy them, I'm just saying, that's a Nigerian thing, Abi. But here is the thing. Professor Lumumba had something to kind of say on that, which I believe further explains this more. A effed up continent, effed up people. There is no coming back.
I hear in Nigeria economists and politicians telling me that the GDP of Nigeria is 500 billion United States dollars, and that therefore it is the biggest economy in the world. I am reminded of the words of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, my friend, when he says, in a debate between dwarfs, what is the value of one dwarf saying I'm taller than the other dwarfs? You are still a dwarf. This Nigeria is capable in 5 years of becoming a 3 trillion GDP economy. The fundamentals are there. Talk of human resource. And I think it is, my sister, you go to anywhere in the world, tell me, engineering, artificial intelligence, space, Nigerians. The saying goes, if you go to any part of the world and you do not find a Nigerian, run away from there. Because there is nothing to be done there. It is these Nigerians who will move the country. I keep on reminding my Nigerian friends, you say you are 220 million. No, you are not. I suspect you are 300 million.